In the previous class, we have discussed about the spermatogenesis process and hormonal regulation in the spermatogenesis process. Okay, and in this class, I am going to continue with the same topic, but the subtopic is sperm, structure of sperm. Structure of sperm. This is the very important question for 5 marks. For the examination point of view, it is very important question for 5 marks. Explain the structure of sperm or draw a neat and label diagram of sperm. And that time you have to mention the, you have to write the neat diagram and with the valid labels. Okay, valid labels. See, this is the sperm. Okay, and this region, this is acrosome. Acrosome, and it is covered by the plasma membrane. And this is nucleus containing chromosomal materials. This one is mitochondria. Mitochondria. And this is called as the middle piece. Middle piece. And this is tail region. This is called as tail region. Okay, and this constriction is called as neck. Okay, this is the diagram of sperm, and let us discuss about the structure of sperm. Structure of a sperm. What is the definition of sperm? A sperm is a motile haploid male gamete produced in the seminiferous tubules of the testes. Okay, what is sperm? Sperm is a motile haploid male gamete produced in the seminiferous tubules of the testes is called as sperm. Okay, what is sperm? It is a motile haploid male gamete. What is motile? Means it can show the movement. It shows the motility and movement. Haploid means n number of chromosomes. So it consists of only single set of chromosomes and is a male gamete produced from the seminiferous tubules of the testes is called as sperm. Okay, this is the definition of sperm. And next, the points of structure of sperm. Okay, the structure of sperm. A sperm is about 50 to 60 millimeter in length. 50 to 60 millimeter in length, and it consists of head region, neck region, and middle piece region and tail region. Okay, the body of the sperm is divided into head region, neck region, and middle piece region, and the last part is tail region. And here the whole body of the sperm is covered by the plasma membrane. Okay, the whole body of the sperm is covered by the plasma membrane. Okay, let us discuss head region. Okay, this is the uppermost part is called as head region, and the uppermost part of the head region, which consists of a nucleus containing chromosomal material in that, and another very important thing, the anterior part of the head region is covered by the cap-like structure, and this cap-like structure is called as acrosome. Okay, the head of the sperm is covered by the or protected by the cap-like structure called as acrosome. Okay, and what is the role of this acrosome? The acrosome is filled with the enzymes. The acrosome is completely filled with the enzymes that helps in the fertilization of the ovum. Okay, this region which makes the pathway towards the ovum region. Okay, see, this is the ovum, and this ovum which helps to open here. This is the acrosome which helps to fertilizing with the ovum. Okay, after that middle piece is present, and the middle piece which consists of a numerous mitochondria. Okay, in the middle piece region, it connects the both head region and the tail region, and this middle piece region, it completely filled with the many number of mitochondria. And now tell me, what is the role of mitochondria in that? The mitochondria is commonly called as powerhouse of the cell, right? Why it is called as power of the cell? Because they can produce the ATP. They can produce the energy in the form of ATP. So that's why this mitochondria which produces the energy in the form of ATP. So that's why the sperms, they can able to show the motility inside the body. Okay, the middle piece which consists of a many number of mitochondria which supplies the energy for the motility of the sperms, and it is very essential for fertilization process. Without the mitochondria, there is no energy will produced, there is no production of any ATPs. So that's why, so due to that region only, the sperms, they can show the motility. Here when the mitochondria is, they can produce the ATP, they can able to show the motility, and they can reach to the, they can with the help of motility, they can reach to the female reproductive tract, and they can finally they reach to the fallopian region, and finally the fertilization takes place there itself. Okay, so that's why the mitochondria role is very important in the sperm. And after that, the neck is present, and this neck, it is a constriction present in between the head region and the middle piece region. And after that, a human male ejaculates about 20 to 300 millions of sperms during the coitus, of which normal fertility, at least 60% must have a normal size and shape, and at least 40% of them show vagarous motility. During the time of coitus, during the time of intercourse, a human male, they can ejaculate 200 to 300 millions of sperms. Okay, during the time of ejaculation, human male organisms, they can ejaculate 200 to 300 millions of sperms. 200 to 300 millions of sperms they can ejaculate. Okay, in that, the at least 60% of the sperms, they can shows the motility. They can shows the motility and having normal shape and size. Okay, here in some time in the 200 to 300 millions of sperms, all the sperms are not energetic. All the sperms are, they cannot, some they are there is no presence of tail, in some there is a loss of head region, in some there is no loss of middle piece region. Like that, the sperms, it shows what vagarous motility, and those type of sperms, they cannot able to fertilize with the female gamete. At least 60% of the sperms are energetic, and they can show the normal shape and size, and in that 60%, the 40% sperms, they shows the vagarous motility. Okay, like that. And after that, the tail region is present is the posterior end of the sperm, is called as tail region, which helps in the movement. Okay, and after that, the sperms are released from the seminiferous transported to the accessory, they can transfer or they can with the help through the accessory ducts they can reach to the seminiferous tubules region, and from the seminiferous tubule the secretions of the epididymis, vas deferens and seminal vesicle and prostate gland, and these are all the secretions of the accessory glands like epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicle, prostate gland. These are all the glands which can secrete their secretions, which helps in the, it is very essential for the maturation and the motility of the sperm. It is very essential for the motility of the sperm. The seminal plasma, you already know about that seminal plasma. Seminal plasma, it is produced in the region of, it is produced from the accessory glands, and here this seminal plasma released during the coitus, and with the help of seminal plasma the sperms are ejaculated. Always the seminal plasma or semen, it is a white alkaline fluid which consists of sperms. Okay, after the ejaculation, a white fluid or white alkaline fluid, it is ejaculated from the male reproductive system called as external genitalia called as penis, and those seminal fluid which is having the presence of 200 to 300 millions of sperms, and those in that 200 to 300 millions of sperms, few are damaged but 60% are healthy, and those sperm they can reach to the fallopian tube, but all the sperm they cannot able to fertilize with the female gamete. Only one female sperm, healthy sperm, it is going to fertilize with the female gamete. And the functions of the male accessory ducts and the glands are maintained by the testicular hormones. These are all the processes, which are under the control of what? Which are under the control of hormones. Okay, which are under the control of hormones, gonadotropic hormones. It is acts on the anterior pituitary and which stimulates the secretion of two gonadotropins. One is luteinizing hormone and another one is follicle stimulating hormones. Okay, like that the sperms are produced. Okay, what is spermatogenesis? The process of production of sperms from the seminiferous tubules of the testes is called as spermatogenesis. Okay, and during the time of spermatogenesis, this process it is going to take place only in the males, and here the males are, they can produce the sperms, and when coming to the structure of sperm, it consists of four parts: head region, head region, neck region and middle piece region, and tail region, and head, the whole sperm, it is covered by the plasma membrane, and head is covered by the cap-like structure called as acrosome, and the head region which consists of a nucleus containing chromosomal material is present, and all the sperms are haploid in nature. All the sperms are haploid in nature. Okay, and the middle piece region which consists of a numerous number of mitochondria, and mitochondria is the unit powerhouse of the cell, so that's why they can produce the energy in the form of ATP, and this energy it is going to be useful during the time of spermatogenesis process. And posterior part is called as tail region, and this is the tail region which helps in motility process. Okay, and the sperms during the time of coitus, it took 200 to 300 millions of sperms. 200 to 300 millions of sperms are ejaculated from the external genitalia of the male. Okay, and the sperms they cannot released separately; they are always ejaculated within the seminal plasma. Okay, that's all about today's class, and in the next class I am going to talk about oogenesis process. What is oogenesis process? The process of formation of ovum or the egg in the follicle inside the ovary region. Okay, the process of formation of ovum or the egg inside the ovary is called as oogenesis. Okay, in the testes, spermatogenesis process is going to take place. In the ovary, the female gamete it is going to produce, and this process is called as oogenesis. What is oogenesis? The process of formation of ovum or the egg in the follicle of the ovary is called as oogenesis process. Okay, again the oogenesis process it is going to take place in the ovary region, and here also there is a very lot of changes, lot of cell division it is going to take place. The egg mother cells, the oogonium cells, it can undergo mitosis. The mitosis it is going to develop divided into many oogonias, and these oogonias they can undergo cell division. They can produce primary oocyte, and the primary oocyte is divided developed into secondary oocyte, and finally secondary polar body it is going to produce and ovum, and from the ovum the egg will be produced, and soon after the release of egg at the 14 to 21 days, on that time the fertilization it is going to take place between the male gamete and the female gamete in the ampullary ischemic junction of the fallopian tube. Okay, and in the next class, next video, I am going to dealing with the oogenesis process. Until then, keep watching the videos and make the short notes of it. Okay, thank you.